Right now, on to the point. Safety concerns ahead of Thanksgiving.
And about 30 feet from me, I seen something airborne. And I said, my God, it's a car. And it's a vehicle and it's flying through the air.
Canadian border crossings close after a car explodes. The latest on the investigation. A local boutique on alert after recent break-ins.
Somebody decided to come do some late night shopping about 5:30 in the morning.
The program that could help save their business. And later in the show, celebrating Native American history. We hit the back roads in Humboldt County to visit California's first tribally operated visitor center. Thank you so much for joining us. This is To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. As we come on the air tonight, we are following several developing stories. But first, we want to go to the U.S.-Canada border, where authorities are investigating an explosion on the U.S. side of the Rainbow Bridge near Niagara Falls. Police say 2 people have died. Rena Roy has the latest on the investigation.
A massive police presence at the U.S.-Canada border along the Rainbow Bridge near Niagara Falls. FBI agents leading the investigation into a fatal explosion on the U.S. side.
Based on what's happening in other parts of the world, everybody is on edge, and this is an international border.
You can see remnants of a car, charred metal, and smoke rising into the air. Sources tell ABC News that investigators discovered a suitcase or briefcase on scene, the bomb squad handling the package. Sources also saying the vehicle was seen on surveillance footage, stopped at an initial security checkpoint before speeding up and crashing into the second checkpoint. It's unclear what caused the explosion.
There is no evidence at this time that this was a terrorist activity, and that's what I want to make very clear to the public.
Authorities shutting down the bridge along with others in the area. Local law enforcement also placing canine officers on each of the international bridges. Cars being searched at Buffalo Airport out of an abundance of caution.
At this hour, officials say the other Canadian border bridges reopen. They say that the Rainbow Bridge will stay closed as they investigate. We're also following a developing story tonight in Rancho Cordova. The Sacramento County Sheriff's Office on the scene of a deadly crash. You are looking at the scene on Zinfandel Drive. Right now, investigators tell us that a car turned in front of a motorcyclist, causing them to be thrown from their bike. They later died at the scene, and the driver was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. Of course, we will update you as we learn more information. Tonight, roads and businesses in Vacaville are back open after having to evacuate due to a suspicious package. It happened at a post office near Prairie Court around 11 this morning. Police say an employee there alerted them after a package was left in the lobby. Officers say a bomb robot inspected it and found nothing dangerous inside. One of the biggest shopping days of the year is just around the corner, and on the top of people's minds is safety. In a press conference today, state and local law enforcement outlined their security plans for the holiday season. They emphasize that they want to make sure that shoppers feel safe, saying that they plan to have more uniformed officers as well as undercover operations in and around stores. The CHP commissioner says thanks to funding, they are able to divert more resources towards retail theft specifically.
There are over a dozen additional task forces that have been organized or in the process of standing up now. These task forces will work together like law enforcement in California always does to make sure California is safe during this holiday season and throughout the rest of the year.
And in our area, the Roseville and Lodi Police Department say they have increased patrols around shopping locations. The Roseville Galleria recently had 2 armed robberies in the mall's parking lot. Police are asking people to, of course, stay vigilant and report suspicious activity. Small businesses in our area are also on high alert this holiday season. One business in Sacramento says that they experienced multiple break-ins this year, and now they're relying on a gift card program from the city to help save their business. Our Jeannie Nguyen explains tonight.
At the beginning of this month, somebody decided to come do some late night shopping about 5:30 in the morning.
As the co-owner of Universal Clothing Boutique on Del Paso Boulevard, Frederick Adams says this is becoming the norm for his business. We visited his store back in May following one of the several break-ins this year.
And how much do you think that totaled in merchandise loss?
Over $10,000.
The financial loss has taken its toll on the business. Adams had to shut down a portion of the store 2 months ago, and today he says he's very unsure about the future of his business.
We're trying to do everything we can to stay here, but I'm not for sure. I don't know how much longer I could take it.
Now, Adams is hoping the city's Shop 916 program will help his store, especially during this Thanksgiving weekend.
If you buy a $100 gift card, you get a free $50 gift card. If you buy a $50 gift card, you get a free $25. And if you buy a $25, you get a free $10 gift card.
More than 100 businesses are participating in this program, including Universal Clothing Boutique. This is the third year the city is providing this program through the American Rescue Plan, but the city says there's no guarantee it'll be back next year.
It will sunset at the end, I believe, of next year. Whether our dollars run out before then, that's yet to be seen.
For Adams, he's hoping this isn't the last year.
Sure, it'll be a big loss for me and everybody else around here that's partnership with the program. Yeah, for sure we're going to take a loss because it wouldn't be too many incentives for people to come shop.
And while he understands everyone in the community is struggling with the rising costs of living, he encourages everyone to support their favorite local business in any way possible this holiday season.
And everybody don't have a lot of money to spend, but you could at least come spend $5, $10, $20. It don't matter. Anything helps.
Supporting our local businesses does matter, and there are more than 100 businesses that are a part of this program. So for people that do want more information and they want to support local businesses, how can they get that information?
Yeah, well, Alex, this program started last Wednesday and will go through February 15th, 2024. So there is plenty of time for people to shop this weekend for Black Friday and even closer to Christmas. We also have the entire list of businesses participating in this program posted on our website at abc10.com.
All right, Jeannie, thank you so much. We appreciate it. All right, if you are looking for more ways to help ahead of the holidays, consider donating to ABC 10's Stand Against Hunger campaign. Now through December 17th, we are raising money for 7 local food banks to help feed people in need this holiday season. And for a list of all those food banks and how you can help, all you have to do is just text the word hunger to 916-321-3310. All right, coming up onto the point, piles of dead fish stuck in Stockton Creek, causing a very big problem.
We are tracking cloud cover moving in across the coast. Some showers already popping up in parts of the state. Who will see rain, snow, and the windy weather ahead.
And later in the show, we hit the back roads along the Humboldt County coast to explore Native American history.
Up and down the coast, there was villages, but when the settlers came, it kind of forced everyone out to reservations.
Here we go with our weather. Tonight we have some cloud cover streaming in, showers hanging just off the coast. So really a beautiful evening to be out and about, kind of getting ready to hunker down with all the festivities for tomorrow. As far as the passing showers coming through overnight tonight, early tomorrow, kind of in and out of here. A few flurries for the high country and a possibility of a few flurries for the afternoon. But overall, nothing that's going to have super long delays for travel or anything. That'll just be the volume of people on the roads, not so much from weather. Wind advisory, though, going into place behind the passage of that cold front, and that will take us right through our Friday. So a couple of wind impacts, difficult driving at times. Tree branches down could cause some minor power outages tomorrow afternoon. Winds are fairly calm for the morning. It's during the mid-morning and early afternoon that we really start to see those pick up, especially on the west side of the valley and northbound along I-5. Seeing that again develop Friday overnight, Thursday into early Friday, and that will take us through the first part of our Friday forecast. In fact, the strongest winds are very likely to be overnight Thursday into early Friday. By Friday afternoon, things will be quieter. As far as our temperatures for our Thanksgiving Day, highs in the 40s for the Sierra, 50s and 60s down low throughout the foothills. For the Bay Area, highs are in the 60s. As we head inland, we're in the low 70s. It'll be a cool start to the day. Highs, though, warming to the upper 60s to near 70. Just picture perfect for this Thanksgiving. A few showers early on Thursday for the mountains. For the foothills, we are dry, but those overnight lows are going to be quite cold. So it's that time of year, dressing in layers as we head throughout the afternoon. Thanksgiving Day, highs in the upper 60s. As we head into the weekend, forecast some very cold morning lows, even into early next week. Patchy frost, mostly sunny skies. Our next chance for rain coming late next week.
Next, onto the point, new tax reporting guidelines for those who use payment apps, what you need to know before tax season. Plus, a mysterious dog illness has made its way to California. Hear from an expert about how dogs are getting it. Tonight, people living along a creek in North Stockton are concerned after they've seen dozens of salmon getting stuck and dying near their homes. Our Gabriel Porras went to the neighborhood to find out what is causing this problem.
Both the federal and state governments have recognized California's Chinook salmon species as threatened. But for some people living along one creek in North Stockton, that threat is playing out literally in their backyards. Sloshing and splashing around, dozens of Chinook salmon are trying to swim up this stream off the Bear Creek in North Stockton. But
they can't get over the irrigation channels barriers.
Autumn Alessio has lived in the neighborhood near Whistler Way for 10 years. She knew something was fishy weeks ago when she began hearing the loud sounds and smelling dead salmon.
On the other side of the levee, you can hear this booming happening over and over again. And then as they die off, it will, smell remarkably like dead fish for a good amount of time.
Autumn is not the only one who's concerned.
I wish they could make their way upstream, but of course you have the dam there, and that's as far as they're going to go.
John Morales walks his dog along the levee every day.
There's a lot more this year than any other year, and I've been here for 31 years.
In addition to the increase in salmon, he's seen an increase in fish and wildlife officers patrolling to make sure no one tries fishing the threatened species. With a significant number of salmon stuck in such a vulnerable area,
it is a very literal dead end.
People who live around the creek, like John and Autumn, are hoping for a solution in the future to prevent salmon from meeting death in the middle of their North Stockton neighborhood.
Downstream, they need to put in a barrier of some sort during the migration to ensure that the fish can stay on course. They are a protected species, and to know that they're ending their life here instead of making it upriver where they belong is frustrating for everybody.
No one with the Department of Fish and Wildlife was available to talk on camera today, but they did tell me that they have seen a record number of Chinook salmon trying to swim upstream this year. They also say that generally they do not pick up any of the dead fish from waterways like this one because those dead fish could help replenish other parts of the ecosystem.
A warning tonight for dog owners. A mysterious respiratory illness has been getting dogs sick over the past year, and now it's in California. Health leaders in LA County say that there has been at least 10 cases reported so far. Several other states have reported them too. And we spoke to an expert who says that dogs that are infected are developing coughs before showing more serious symptoms a week later.
Close confinement, close interaction of those animals, for instance, in a shelter situation, a doggy daycare, SPCA, a veterinary hospital, dog parks where dogs have a lot of nose-to-nose respiratory secretions to respiratory secretions involvement and interaction and exchange. Those are the likely chances of transmission.
Experts say that there have been no reports of suspicion of these illnesses being transmitted to or from anything other than dogs. They recommend that if you are traveling to bring your dogs with you or have someone watch your pet at home. A state appeals court has ruled that California can continue to provide personal information of gun owners with researchers to study gun violence. So this will reverse last year's decision by a lower court judge who said that such data violates privacy rights. So the law signed by Governor Newsom back in 2021 allows the state DOJ to share information of more than 4 million gun owners to help research institutions better study gun violence, accidents, and suicides. The information which the state collects with every firearm sale to perform background checks includes everything from your name, your address, phone numbers, and any criminal records. Under the law, researchers can use the information and make their findings public, but they cannot release any identifying information of gun owners. And if you use payment apps like Venmo or Cash App, the IRS announced that they will delay implementing new reporting requirements for the upcoming tax filing season. Originally, app users who made $600 or more would have been required to report those transactions to the IRS. Instead, payment apps and online marketplaces will send out separate forms for those who receive over $20,000 and make over 200 transactions selling goods or services. For 2024, the basic reporting threshold will be increased from $500 to $5,000. November is Native American Heritage Month, and we are sharing stories of the Native American community right here in Northern California. And tonight on the back roads, John Bartel takes us to California's first Native American managed state park.
This roadside lagoon along Humboldt County's coast is Yurok country. The tribe calls it Chapek Akta.
That was a village out there, probably up until like the early 1800s.
Before gold miners and early settlers arrived, there was more than 70 villages in this area.
All up and down the coast, there was villages, but when the settlers came, it kind of forced everyone out to reservations.
For over 100 years, Chapek, as it was called for short, was destroyed. The land overhunted, the water overfished, and when the blacktop roads were laid in the 1920s, businesses claimed the land and built diners, a motel, a gas station, and turned the Chapek into a primitive playground for tourists.
The tribe had this space lost, and it was essentially a restaurant, essentially a place to stay for non-native peoples.
Then in the 1980s, California State Parks claimed the land and called it Stone Lagoon State Park.
It's called a genocide. That's what it was.
For nearly 40 years, the Yurok had little to say about what went on in the park.
I'm sorry on behalf of the state of California.
That is, until an apology by California's governor set in motion a change that has never happened in the state park system.
Not until recently, the Yurok tribe and state parks didn't have a good relationship. And now they're doing a pretty good job of working with the Yurok people.
In the summer of 2020, the Yurok tribe was given joint powers of authority by the state, making them the first tribe in the park system to have full control over the visitor center and hire staff.
The coastline has these villages, which are called Nur.
Today, Yurok tribal members like Kessela McQuillan and Jacob Reed control the narrative. They share with tourists the history of the Chapek Akta in their new visitor center and on guided kayak tours across the lagoon.
The hope for the tribe is that, we're here and we'll hopefully pass this knowledge down to future generations and can continue to grow.
Reporting on Native American Heritage Month, I'm John Bartell.
Coming up tomorrow on To The Point, a record-breaking pumpkin. A pumpkin nicknamed Michael Jordan weighed in at more than 2,700 pounds in the famous Half Moon Bay Pumpkin Contest. And it was so heavy, it broke a pumpkin world record. So coming up tomorrow, we are looking at where that pumpkin was grown and the journey it took to get it to Northern California. So don't miss this story right here tomorrow on To The Point at 6:30. Next, we take you to the airports as families reunite for the holidays. You don't want to miss it. I actually spent some time at the Sacramento Airport the last 2 days as people reunited ahead of the holiday. And here's a look at some of those moments.
So my daughter lives in Louisville, Kentucky, and she's coming home for Thanksgiving for a couple days. I'm so excited.
I'm here picking up my son, Bryce. He is stationed in Washington, D.C. This will be his first time coming home since Christmas last year. He just makes our family complete. So it's great to have him here.
My daughter is Serenity. She's a freshman at Utah State. They've been counting down the days, since we knew she was coming home.
It's just a very exciting time. I'm very thankful.
Enjoy their time with their loved ones and just have great holidays.
Hope everyone has a very safe and happy Thanksgiving.
I'm going to start crying all over again. I'm so sorry if you were at Sacramento Airport watching me cry as you were hugging your family. We did this story last year. I had to do it again. We always talk about traffic and everything else, but really, this is what the holidays are about, is being with your family. And we want to hear from you ahead of Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for? You can text the team at 916-321-3310 or make sure you send us an email at tothepoint@abc10.com. Please be safe on the road. Enjoy your time, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow night.